Hi everyone, today we are doing 1.9 review for your unit assessment on Friday. Let's start with the annotations on the right. When we are solving equations, we want to ask ourselves 5 questions during the process. First, can I simplify the equation by either distributing or combining like terms? Okay, so you look at the equation, see if you can simplify anything. Second, we want to ask ourselves what variable terms do I need to move to the left? Okay, so if you want, sometimes and most times we might see an x as our variable terms. And then third, what constants or numbers without variables terms do I need to move to the right? Okay, so once you identify everything that needs to move and where they need to go, we need to ask ourselves what inverse operations will we need to isolate the variable and to sort the variables and constants, just like in our questions 2 and 3. And lastly, does my solution pass the check? Okay, so you always check at the end to double check that your solution is correct. So, for example 1, I'm going to set it up for you and you're actually going to try it on your own since we've done a lot of examples like this in class. So first let's make the equal line, and on the left hand side we're going to want variables, and on the right hand side we're going to want the constants or the numbers. Go ahead and try that on your own now. Great. So I want to see, can I simplify? So I'm looking on the left-hand side, can't simplify anything. These aren't like terms. Neither are these two on the right-hand side. So step number 1, I'm done. Number 2, what variable terms do I need to move to the left? Well, negative 3x is already here. I'm good. Negative 4x is on the wrong side. So that's what I need to move to the left-hand side. So the inverse operation, step 3, that I need is going to be plus 4x. I'm adding 4x, and I'm going to line it up with the like term on the other side. Okay, so when I add 4x on both sides, I now have, I'm going to bring down the negative 3. Negative 3x plus 4x is 1x, a positive 1x, is equal to, now this cancels out, and now I'm just left with 4. Great. I'm looking across the equation. There's no more variable terms that need to move to the left. They're already here. Next, what constants or numbers do I need to move to the right-hand side? Well, the 4 is there. That's good. But the negative 3 shouldn't be on the left-hand side. It should be on the right. So the inverse operation I need for negative 3 is adding 3. That's the opposite of negative 3. And now I have, this cancels out on the left. And now I just have 1x is equal to 4 plus 3, which is 7. Okay, so like we said in class, we can take that extra step of dividing by 1 on both sides. And then, again, that leaves us with x is equal to 7. To save time in this video, I'm not going to show the check, but on your own, go ahead and check this solution. All right, so moving down to the next example, we're going to follow those same steps, okay? So the first question we need to ask ourselves is, can I simplify? So before I actually do that, let me set it up. Let's split it down the middle. So I want x's on this side and I want numbers on this side. So my first question is, can I simplify the equation by either distributing or combining like terms? Now, I don't see any distribution. There's no parentheses. But I do see some like terms that I can combine on this left-hand side. It looks like there's a lot of terms here. I can make this easier. I can combine negative 2x and positive 7x. Okay, we can only combine like terms on the same side. When I combine these two, negative 2x and 7x, that gets me 5x. Okay. And I still didn't work with a negative 35, so I'm going to bring that down. So right now I have 5x minus 35. Great. Let's look on the right-hand side. So it looks like there's also a lot of terms here, and there are some like terms. There's the constants, 3 and positive 48. When we combine the two of them, 3 plus 48, that gives us 51. I didn't work with the 48x, so I'm going to bring that down, plus 48x. All right, so that first step is done, and now it's just another equation that we've solved, just like the first one. So I'm going to let you go ahead and try that on your own now. All right, so I hope that that worked out for you. We're going to go over it right now. So same thing. Second question is, what variable terms do I move to the left? Well, let me scan here. It looks like 5x is in the right place. It's with the x. But 48x doesn't belong here. Only numbers belong on the side. It actually needs to move over. So I need to apply the inverse operation to do that. The inverse operation of adding 48x is subtracting 48x. And I'm going to line it up with the 5x on the left. So when I now apply that inverse operation, 5x minus 48x is negative 43x. I'm going to bring down the negative 35 is equal to bring down the 51. Didn't work with that yet. And now this cancels out. Great. I think I'm done with the variable terms. Yep, everything is on the left-hand side. Now, I want all of our number terms, the constants, on the right-hand side, and it looks like this negative 35 is in the wrong place. So I need to apply the inverse operation, adding, opposite of negative, add 35 on both sides. Now what I have is, well, negative 43x I didn't work with, so I'm going to just bring down. Negative 35 plus 35, that cancels each other out. Now I have 51 plus 35, which is 86. All right, great. We have the terms separated, they're all divided, and now I need to think about, well, what inverse operations do I need to now isolate the variable? Remember, negative 43 x means negative 43 times x. So the inverse operation would be dividing by that entire coefficient, negative 43, on both sides. And that now gives us x is equal to negative 2. Positive divided by negative gives us negative. X equals negative 2. So again, I'm going to leave the check for you to do on your own. And the last example is one with distribution. So again, our first question is, can I simplify? Well, in this case, I really can, okay? Because I can simplify by distributing. So I'm distributing the 2 to the 1, and I'm distributing the 2 to the negative 3n. So let's go ahead and do that now. So what that means is 2 times 1, okay? I'll put that in parentheses. That's the first step. Plus 2 times, now that's a negative 3n. Okay? Great. I already didn't split this down the middle. I should have done that from the beginning. Okay. Now let's simplify that, and what that's saying is 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times negative 3n is negative 6n. 2 plus negative 6n is equal to, now let's copy this one down, negative 4n plus 8n. Are we done simplifying? Well, we distributed, but it looks like in this problem there's also some like terms I can combine. So let's look on this left-hand side. 2 and negative 6n are not like terms, can't combine them. On the right-hand side, though, negative 4n and 8n are like terms. I can combine those, and when I combine those, negative 4n plus 8n, I get 4n. So now I have this new equation, 2 plus negative 6n is equal to 4n. And same thing. We want our variable terms on the left and our constants or our numbers on the right. So let's see what needs to move. So what variable terms need to move? Well, this 4n doesn't belong on the right-hand side, so I'm going to need to subtract that positive 4n on both sides, giving me 2, bring this down, plus negative 10n is equal to, well, this cancels out, so it really cancels out to 0. Okay, next, all of our variable terms are on the left. Now let's move all of our constants on the right. Well, this 2 doesn't belong, so I'm going to subtract the 2 out. And now I'm going to get, let me see if I have any space. Don't really have space. Now I have, this cancels out. Negative 10n is equal to negative 2. Uh-oh. I'm running out of space, so I'm going to write it over here. I have negative 10n is equal to negative 2. And now I need inverse operations to isolate the variable. I'm going to divide by negative 10, divide by negative 10. And now I have, those cancel out, so n is equal to, well, negative 2 divided by negative 10. If you have a calculator, you'll find that that's 0.5. Okay, and I'm going to leave the check up to you.